You are listening to Let's Talk Trio on podcasts. Keep up with the latest episodes by downloading the Podbean app or stream episodes via our social media accounts. Search for Let's Talk Trio on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This podcast episode is brought to you by Lonsdale Publishing. Is your program seeking ways to assess your students' college readiness? Does your program need a tool to document the effectiveness of your program? Lonsdale Publishing is excited to offer the Strategic Learning Assessment, a 20-minute online assessment that provides recommendations and strategies to improve academic performance across 11 learning areas: communication, critical thinking, effective learning strategies, focus and concentration, growth mindset, persistence, seeking help, sense of belonging, stress management, test preparation, and time management. For as little as $3 per student, the Strategic Learning Assessment identifies strengths and areas for growth, along with tailored recommendations for each learning area. Want a complimentary sample account for yourself and 5 students? Contact Lonsdale Publishing at 727-389-8026. Again, that number is 727-389-8026. Or visit our website for more information at www.lonsdale.com. That website again is www.lonsdale.com. Lonsdale Publishing, your partner in student success.
Are you seeking guidance to enhance your TRIO project's effectiveness and success? Look no further. Nosotros Education Center, NEC, is here to empower your TRIO project with expert consulting services. NEC's mission is to promote the effectiveness and impact of TRIO programs. Since 2003, NEC has specialized in providing professional development and in-service staff trainings, allowable cost services, for TRIO projects across the country. The team at NEC, with over 60 years of combined TRIO experience, offers customized workshops and seminars for project staff, compliance assessments, external evaluations, working on and submitting APRs, database customization and training, development of policies and procedures manuals, and project implementation or reorganization services. Additionally, NEC has secured over $774 million in federal funding with a 92% success rate through their live and on-demand proposal workshops, assistance with data collection and review, detailed technical reviews, and comprehensive proposal development services. Join the hundreds of colleges, agencies, and TRIO projects across the country who benefited from NEC's expertise. Nosotros Education Center, your partner in TRIO's project success. Visit their website at nosotros.edu.org. Again, that's nosotros.edu.org.
This episode is sponsored by Student Access. Student Access, the leader in TRIO software. Student Access is an online database solution that allows TRIO programs to track their students' information, connect with students by text messages, streamline the APR, and work from anywhere, all online, with automatic updates for changes from the Department of Education. Their technical support team includes former TRIO staff and has over 50 years of combined experience working with TRIO. Make it easier to focus on your priority, the students. For more information and to request a free demo, visit their website at www.studentaccess.com or call them toll-free at 1-800-801 1232. That website again is www.studentaccess.com or 1-800-801-1232. Be sure to share your favorite episodes on your social media by tapping that share button. This is a great way to support the podcast. Now here's your host, Juan Rivas.
Thank you, Amelia, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, listener, and welcome to this special edition of the Let's Talk Trio podcast, where we are featuring a limited series titled First Gen RAMS in collaboration with Colorado State University's First Generation Student Group Organization and the Trio programs. This is episode 4 of 4. I am your host, Juan Rivas. Before we begin, some community announcements. As you may know, Trio is under attack. The current administration argues that Trio programs are unnecessary, claiming that college access for low-income, first-generation students is no longer hindered by economic and systemic barriers. We all know that is false, and that Trio services still provide sorely needed opportunities to hundreds of thousands of students nationwide. Action is needed in order to protect these vital services. Please contact your members of Congress to let them know that you support Trio, and follow @ProtectTrioNow on Instagram to stay up to date with the latest updates and information. North Carolina Central University is hosting their annual Student Access and Success Conference in 2026. Click the link located on the episode description to learn more. Thank you to our corporate sponsors, Student Access, Longsdale Publishing, Nosotros Education Center, TrioJoblist.com, and a special thanks to the Trio Store for their support of the First Generation Celebration event happening Friday, November 7th. Remember to visit www.thetriostore.com, your source for Trio graduation stoles. A warm thanks to our individual supporters, Dr. Jamie Motley, Dr. Ryan Barone, Dr. Jeff Nepute, Angelica Villalpando, Angelica Valdez, Rosario Riley, Felicia Rivera, Jeff Calden, Eric Lamaster, and Jaded Electronics. My next guest on this podcast episode is Maria de Jesus, a student at Colorado State University. Maria is on the podcast to share her experience as a first-generation student at Colorado State University. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. Hi, Trio Nation. I am joined by my guest, another first-gen student here at Colorado State University, Maria de Jesus. She is here to tell us about her first generation journey. Hi, Maria. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Hello. I'm so happy to be here. Being first generation, I was like, I heard about the podcast. I was like, put me in. I want people to hear my story, you know?
That's wonderful.
But yeah, I'm a third year student at Colorado State University. I'm doing early childhood education with human development and family studies as well. One of my biggest dreams is to teach elementary kids. That's my passion.
I love that. So what does it mean to be a first-generation student to you? When you hear the words first generation, what does that mean?
Being the first generation, we almost have this broadly definition that is a student that either your parents or your wardens come to have access to higher education. But for me, being first generation is more not just that. I think being first generation is someone that needs to break a lot of barriers. It's someone to need to create their own story with no directions, Yeah. I think being first generation is you are the point that kind of opens more doors, but also you're making your journey. And for example, for me, I moved from Mexico 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I'm the older sibling, and for me it was kind of scary to leave my family in Mexico because they are there,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I always had my dream was become a teacher, but unfortunately for things like I couldn't continue my education in Mexico, so I was like, okay, I have the opportunity to go and try something new in the United States. Maybe it will be different, but I always had the feeling like everything is hard before it's easy. And I feel proud of myself. I'm someone who is really independent. Like, obviously, being not here with with either of my parents is hard. It's really hard. Like, I didn't like, I was just to kind of have my own find my family, like create my community. That's why I love first generation, because I feel when I come to school, the people that I meet through first generation, like through a bridge program or through key communities or all these type of communities, is where I found my community. And then when I found the organization, the oh my god, the first generation student organization, I was like, okay, this is people that they look like me, and I was like, I want to make an impact on my community. I want to open more doors for higher education. I want to inspire more people, more students that they have everything and maybe they don't know what tools they have until someone tells them and kind of express their own history with their own challenges. So I was like, yeah, that's my family. That's why I'm so proud to be first gen. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I think it's important really to highlight that, one, you're the oldest among your siblings, and that you are carrying a torch not only into the unknown, right? It's guiding the unknown, but also opening the doors for your siblings as well, or to set an example. And then you're speaking to a much larger community in the first generation student group, how you're also having to continue forging in that path, but also finding a community of support. Can you talk about that, about your level of involvement in the first generation student group?
Like my love.
So you're like how you're involved or what you do inside the organization.
Yeah. So when I was in my freshman year, before I started in the fall semester, I did the Bridge Scholars program, right? And one of my mentors, her name is Maria as well. And her and another mentor, they say, oh yeah, like we are part of this organization. Like we help the students identify as a first generation. And they kind of told me about what they do and how the organizations work, right? So when I entered my freshman year fall semester, I saw the flyers on social media and it was like, oh yeah, we have this social event, we will be doing fall cleanup, like, because one of the things I love is kind of really be involved in community. So I like to do volunteering. Like I don't mind to get paid or something. Like if someone needs help, I will be there,
Yeah.
So I heard about all these involvements, like the activities that they have. And then on my sophomore year, they shared this flyer saying, oh, we're looking for officers. And because me and one of my friends, we was really involved in the organization, we find we want to work with this organization. We applied for the position and it was anyone there. It was just the people that they need for occupy the spaces. So it was my position. It was no candidates. I applied for the secretary, and I get it so easy. And I was like, I'm happy to get the position, But then I was like, no, like I want more people to come in. Like I want to really create a community. Like I don't want to be just getting a position just because I play. Like I want someone like to engage me, like someone to challenge myself,
Right.
So then on my third year, I was ending my sophomore year, entering my third year. The person who was the president, she graduated, and then it will be the other officers. They quit the organization, so we found that, oh my God, we need more people. We need more officers. So we opened the position as well. Again, it was no people. It was around like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
And then so for this time I was like, I like to be more connecting with community. So besides being just secretary, I respect the secretary's work, but I was like, this is not for me. I like be more interacting with people. I like to engage. I like to connect. So I was like, I want to apply for the community outreach director. I was like, you know, so that's my position now. I'm the community outreach director, and I was like, during this summer, 2025, I was a group leader for Bridge Scholars. I come back as a Bridge group leader, sorry. And we have around like 170 students, right? So being like 8 weeks in just one dorm, I mean, you will be creating your own community, you know, like
absolutely, yeah.
The students, they come always with me and they ask me like, oh, like Maria, why are you doing this? Or like, I was sharing about the organization because the officers and I, we say like, for this year we want to make an impact. So we need to ponernos las pilas. We need to, you know, we need to do work. And you know, like sometimes it's not easy. But I was like, we need to ponernos las pilas. So nos pusimos las pilas, and then I was like, you know, I already created my community with the British scholars because I was there with them like during summer, and I kind of know more. And I mean, all of them are first generation. And obviously after you leave Bridge, everyone will be in different places, you know, but that's cool when you have a time, or you have like a specific like day where like, oh my god, these people will be here, so I will be showing up, you know. So that's why on our first event, it was a social, and it was so funny because my friends and I, when we was planning, we was like, how many people you think that will be coming? Because it was from the experience of past years, right? Yeah. And we say, I don't know, maybe 15 people, right? And it was a surprise because we get one of the rooms in the College of Natural Science in the top of the 4th floor. And we had around 73 people coming to our first event. That's it was really impactful. I was like, oh my god, how these people get here? Like, how they know, you know? So that's how we started this year, and we was like, okay, we have our community. And then like we was kind of like, I mean, our team now is really strong. Like we are, almost everyone is women's, and we're around women, and it's just one man, like he's the president, right? And everyone else is just girls. So you know how the empowerment is in being there, like kind of like, oh my god, you know, like we are like mujeres trabajadoras. We are students that are really passionate about it. Like we are people who has big goals, and everyone there is like, they have big goals. And like, I mean, having small goals and big goals, at the end of the day, they're just goals, but every goal has an impact on the community or just with someone. And that was like, that's why like we are still strong, like not strongly, but we're still like working on continue having these people, because we are like, okay, if they come with us, that's because we are the organization. It's open to everyone, and it's fun to have all these people, all these students coming to us and really taking care about our community. And it's, you know, like we maybe are the first ones, but not the last ones. And we hopefully, like, our organization is still growing up and getting more members, you know.
Absolutely. So that's very cool. Can you tell me a little bit about your own experience as a first generation student navigating your current major in education? What were your expectations, or what do you enjoy being in your program in your major for education?
So science, I was like a girl like 5 years. I don't know. I don't remember, right? But I was the student who takes cares about the professors, because you know, teachers and professors, they do a lot, and most of the people, they don't see it there. they don't see, and they're like the first people that create an impact with the students. So I really had a really good experience with all my professors on my journey. And at the end of the day, I was getting like besties with them.
Yeah.
I was, la comadre. I was comadreando with them. And it was so fun,
Yeah.
But then, like, it was this, I remember this professor, her name, it was Miss Laura. And she was I was in my second year of elementary.
Uh-huh.
And I had mamitis at that time. You know what is mamitis means?
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, so mamitis is a term that we use in Mexico, or I mean in Latin America, where the kid has attachments problems with the parent, the caregivers.
Okay.
So that's it. For example, I was always with my mom. Like, she told me, like, you always with me, and like, you didn't ni me dejabas ir al baño. I was like, Mom. She was like, no, like, I was in the bathroom and you was like outside me, or like you was getting in. And then, so I was in my going back, I was in my second year, right?
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I don't know why, but when people like talks loud to me, or like just talks loud to, like, in general, that scares me. I mean, and I was during that time. I think right now I'm fine, But I remember this professor, and she was so strict, and I was getting so worried, because I was like, I don't know how to read, I don't know how to write, and I was in my second year, but I was put too much pressure on myself, science I remember, and I don't know, that's something natural for me, and maybe I learned that it's not normal, but this professor, she always was taking care of me. She was always like shaking me, like, oh, like Chuyita, because it's called during in Mexico, everyone told me Chuyita. So I remember she was like, oh, Chuyita, like, ¿cómo estás? O Chuyita, like, no te preocupes, you estás bien, you'll be fine. And then I remember I was in lunch almost every day, and I didn't have friends at that time. During my elementary journey, I didn't have too many friends. I was like so shy. I was just with the professors. I was just friends with the professors, and she was like, she was this type of professors that was taking care of me, and I really appreciate it. And she always like actually like tutoring me, like, oh my god, oh, I know, I mean, you want to learn how to write? Okay, we'll be learning how to write. And then she was like, oh, you want to do this? You will be doing it, and I will be teach you. And she was always like sitting with me and teach me. And imagine it was like 30 students in the classroom, but besides that, she was still taking care of me, and I really appreciate her. But then, like, that's why how I kind of get involved in this, and like on education, And then I was, cause I was like to help, so I was helping my professors, and that's how, like, I was kind of the TA, But then I on my third year of middle school, I was like 15 years old, right? And my mom and we went to look options on Fresnillo, where I grew up, Fresnillo, Zacatecas, right? And we went to this high school, or like preparatoria, and we was looking for opportunities, because I didn't have I don't have the double nationality, so my parents, they didn't have the chances to make me like Mexican.
Yeah.
And Mexicans 100%, like I'm more Mexican than someone who has the papers, but so we asked for options about if I can still continue my education, right? And we went to the like office of the preparatoria, and they was like, yeah, your student can still come into the school, but you will need to pay more, because we will be putting her as a like as an international student.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's crazy. Like,
It
that's
is.
so crazy. Because I was like, I moved to Mexico when I was like 3 years old. And then I finished my preschool there. I went to elementary. I finished my middle school, and you still told me that you will put me as an international student. That's
That
so
is crazy. Yeah.
So I was like, no. And then like, so my aunt, mi tía Tere, she was like, I was talking with my mom, and she was like, oh, like if Jessie, cause is how my family calls me, Jessie. My tia, she was like, Lily, that's my mother's name, and she was like, Lily, if you want to, if Jessie wants to go to school, I can take care of her and take her over to United States, right? And she can still continue her education. And then my mom, she was like, I was thinking, she was like, no, I can't, like, how I will be dejar mi hija sola,
Yeah.
But like my mom and my tia, they are like comadres. So my mom, she's like, I know that if I send you with someone, that will be you, tia Tere, because she will be really taking care of you.
Yeah.
And she did an amazing job. Like, since I moved here, she is my mother too. She is like always taking care of me. Like, she's always like, mija, what you need, And so she put me in high school here. I went to Alum City High School. I entered on my sophomore year, and then one of my cousins, she was working there. So that's how kind of I get that connection,
Yeah.
And then, so both of my cousins that are like my tias hijas, they went to college. So I mean, I was save them, so they inspire me, And then on my high school, I found this program that is called Inspire. So these are programs to kind of help first generation students and low income, right? And I get the connection there with the director. His name is Jesse Ramirez. And then I have kind of like mentors on my senior year. Mm-hmm. And they was preparing us to applying for college and telling me like, oh yeah, like you need to do your personal essay. And I did my personal essay, and I was always like going to kind of like the office and like having them like checking my responses. And it was more like, because obviously I was so strongly like writing in English, because I was like, that's hard. Like it's also hard for me like writing in Spanish sometimes. So it's like, if it's even more hard like to write in English. Mm-hmm. And then so they was always like helping me like, and then I applied to schools. And when I applied to schools, my first option, because I heard about the programs, and it was UNC. Because everyone told me like, yeah, like education has the best programs and things and that. But then one of my other worries, I was like, okay, yeah, sounds good, but what about financial aid? Mm-hmm. So when I wait until every school they accept me, because every school accept me, I was looking for the financial aid packet, and then I opened CSU. And CSU, they was like almost like covering like all my tuition. Wow. So I was like, that's my option. Like, I mean, I always have this dicho where like, el que quiere puede, and wherever you go, you'll be doing the things that you need to do. So don't matter if I go to UNC and they have the best program. What happened if you go to a school that has the best program, but you didn't fit you, because like the cost is too much. That's so true. Mm-hmm. So I mean, and I was like, if I go to CSU, and I will be exploring my own journey, like, and through that I was like, okay, I found that to get my license, I was supposed to start with human development. So that's why on my freshman year, I had human development and family studies as my main major. And then when I met with my advisor told me, okay, so if you want to do education, you should put early childhood education as a U concentration. I was like, okay, that's good. And then he told me, like, on your sophomore year, you need to apply to the program if you get to apply for the license school. I was like, okay. So then I applied on my sophomore year, and I get to the program. So that's how they changed my major as an early childhood education.
Wow.
And then they are like now preparing me to get my license. And I'm taking classes more in focus in education, but it's also related with HFS, community, like, you know, HFS education, they're like together, kind of together. So that's how I kind of find my passion. But I don't know.
No,
I talk too much.
No, you didn't. I feel like we could definitely do a whole hour episode or a whole hour and a half. But you're doing fantastic. Final question for you. What do you see yourself doing after you graduate from Colorado State University? I know you said you're going to go in education, but do you hope to still being involved with helping other first-generation students find their path in college?
Yeah. So after college, one of my plans is obviously is teach an elementary, but I want to get more in focus with bilingual students.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I want to start like teaching more like Spanish, or like kind of be more like bilingual, you know? So obviously, like, yeah, like after I graduate, I want to to still helping first generation students. So through that, one of my kind of like my biggest goals is to create my own no-profit organization, and you know, like make a scholarship for the students, but also like looking for more resources that they need at the moment. And also like because like the legacy that I'm putting here, I don't want to end when I left, so I want to still continue, and that's why like if people like if CSU or someone like still need my help after graduation, I want to be able to still helping. Yes.
That's wonderful. Maria de Jesus, third-year student at Colorado State University, majoring in HDFS. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
No, thank you, Juan, for inviting me. And you know, I can talk more, but
absolutely,
I need to run to class.
Well, best of luck in class. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
No, thank you.
Are you a participant, alum, or staff of a TRIO program? Do you want your program highlighted? You or your program could be featured in an upcoming episode of Let's Talk TRIO. Get a hold of us by going to our Facebook page or Instagram and send us a direct message. Search for Let's Talk TRIO. We want to get your story to the public.
That was my guest, Maria de Jesus, a student at Colorado State University. Thank you, Maria, for being on the podcast and for sharing your first-gen journey. I'd like to take a moment to thank our honorary members of Let's Talk TRIO podcast, Tony Ho, Roderick Chambers, Scott Kendall, and Susan Cramp. A special shout out to the First Generation Student Group Organization, the TRIO programs, and the director of the Upward Bound programs, Sean Jaster, for this collaboration and for making these podcast episodes possible. The Let's Talk TRIO podcast team is John Russell, audio engineer, music composer and performer, and post-production editor. Amelia Castañeda, script supervisor, social media manager, marketing manager, and producer. Juan Rivas, executive producer and host. Follow the Let's Talk TRIO podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will catch you on the live broadcast episode at Colorado State University's Laurie Student Center. If you missed the live broadcast, you can always catch that episode later. We will post it on our podcast feeds.